and welcome to Class Dismissed, brought to you by Freedom Project Academy, which is now enrolling students in pre-K through 12th grade for the fall. Visit freedomforschool.com and use the code CD10 to save 10% on tuition. I'm Katie, joined by Jim and Lindsay. And we begin with this headline. School choice reportedly caused graduation rates, college acceptance to skyrocket in Louisiana's high crime areas. Well, here's the real question I have for both Lindsay and Jim. If I were to just say which state you would know or think has shown improvement upon academic achievement, what state would you actually say?
I would think Washington or Connecticut, Maine. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Florida because I know they did kind of like universal school choice with all of the step up programs. So I guess I would pick something like that, like Florida maybe.
Yeah. So neither of you said Louisiana, like the article said. So what is happening in Louisiana?
State education leaders, lawmakers, and the governor all celebrating the progress students are making across the state.
Louisiana is no longer about simply being Louisiana believes, but for K-12 education, Louisiana achieves.
The newest national report card now ranks us 32nd in the nation, a big leap up from 49th back in 2019.
How many of you all thought that just 5 years ago we would be here?
This jump comes mainly from improved reading and math scores, making us the only state that has returned to pre-pandemic levels. An achievement Governor Jeff Landry says come at the most opportune time for this generation to capitalize on all the economic developments coming in.
These young men and women are going to get an opportunity we have never had. These kids get to grow up in a new Louisiana at a time when they are getting the education that they need.
Now, State Superintendent Dr. Kate Brumley says the focus is on attendance, more tutoring, higher teacher pay, and job readiness.
So this story has got me a little kerfluffled over here because I don't know if it's so much that Louisiana has gotten so much better, yay Louisiana, or have other states just gotten worse? And how sad is it that Louisiana is the only state, apparently, that is getting back to pre-pandemic levels, which, let's remember, wasn't very high. So it's not like they had a lot to climb to get back there, but like the other states and across the whole nation are just...
So they're the only state to get back to pre-pandemic levels.
That's what they're saying.
Which they were at 49th when the pandemic hit. And now they're up to 32nd. So what does that say about the other, I don't know, 17 states?
And who's 50? Is it Mississippi? Is it Mississippi?
I don't know.
Either way, at least we have common sense striking in Louisiana, because guess what is happening in that state? School choice program is helping to improve that education outcome, especially for the students who are disadvantaged by crime and economic disparities and parents who did not complete their own education. That's according to a new report that goes along with what that news report actually said. Now, the state rolled out its Gator, G-A-T-O-R, makes sense for Louisiana, program or scholarship program in 2025, and it awarded families scholarships to cover private school tuition and other education-related costs. And there was a study where they surveyed 105 families and 190 private schools, and they found that despite many of the private schools approved by the program existing in the same high crime areas as nearby public schools and serving large portions of low-income students who attended the program's schools were much more likely to graduate high school and go to enroll in college. Interesting, when there's choice given and people who care and you can actually have some autonomy going on. Better outcomes overall for everyone, not just those rich areas, which, people like to say, well, that's only school choice, that's only for the rich people. It's like, no, it's for our children, people.
They said another thing in here that really caught my attention, which is like an instant trigger for anyone in a teachers union: differentiated pay. Which is merit-based pay, meaning that if you're actually teaching the students and they're learning, you get paid more. Oh, mind blown.
How dare you?
And props to the teachers who are getting on board with this, because many teachers nowadays, coming up through these education programs throughout all these universities and colleges, they're just indoctrination programs, right? They're really actually not helping the university students who want to become teachers to actually learn how to teach phonics. So big props to the teachers that are getting on board with this, and look at the results. I mean, obviously it's not amazing, but it just started, and it's having a huge impact on the state.
Well, I think it too, how we have talked before about like what behavior is accepted in classrooms now. So we're having the kids that want to learn, want to succeed, getting to pick where they want to go, not being sidelined by other kids with bad behavior. So I think it's awesome.
Well, it kind of ties in to what we have for our next story about one Jeff Yass. He's a billionaire. But he's also a philanthropist. And he is the most recent honoree, being the 2026 Alexander Hamilton Award. And that's through the Manhattan Institute. Now, this is up in the New York City, okay? Just you listen over there.
The New York City.
The New York City, where they like to spend lots of money on education. And surely they are getting great outcomes from spending that money. Is that correct?
New York City spends roughly $37 billion a year to educate about 850,000 kids. That's over $42,000 per child per year.
Are they getting
and the results
like diamond-encrusted Chromebooks?
2/3 of fourth graders can't do math properly, and almost 3/4 can't read at grade level. You don't have to be an expert in fractions to know that is bad. Let's agree that the political reality is we cannot reduce the amount of public education spending at all. Fine. What can we do, Mr. Mayor, is tell every mom in New York City that the $42,000 currently spent on that terrible education is going to be her money. We are going to give her half, $21,000. That's $42,000 divided by 2. Every year she will receive that as a voucher for her child to attend whatever school she wants. We are going to take the other $21,000, put it in a real account, not a fictional Social Security account, for which her child is the sole beneficiary. If it returns a paltry 2% over the next 13 years, that child will graduate high school with $300,000, enough for college, trade school, or a down payment.
Whoa, look at all that math he just did. And it's like, wow. The simple fact that they're spending $42K per pupil.
Yeah, I think average is between like 15 and 17,000 per student.
That's actually higher than I thought. Because I guess a couple years have passed since I thought about it. Where it was like 12,000, 42,000. So okay, I like how he said, you know what, fine. Say we can't reduce that 42K, but at least give the 21K to mom, so mom can determine where kid goes.
And get an education. We said fine too. He was like, fine. Right. Let's just admit that it can't be changed. Fine.
Take that mayor, mom. It's quite fascinating though. It's dollars and cents, right? So 21K is still way above average then to educate a single child for 1 year. And we put the other 21K in an actual like return account. I like not this Social Security account that poof, you never actually see anything. And that kid graduates with $300K.
That would be amazing.
Wow, it's almost like it's an economical thing.
I was thinking 42K. With 42K, if that would educate 10 to 11 students here at FPA.
Oh,
that's what we can do with that money, and they'll come out knowing how to read and write.
Yeah.
Having a Christian worldview.
Think for themselves.
And being able to think for themselves.
Well, look at that.
Thank you very much.
As Jeff Yass would say, yes.
Yes.
I will say, that part where he just says, fine. I find so interesting.
Fine.
Here's a stumper for you. Why doesn't any politician just come out and say, why don't we privatize education entirely? And give all of the power back to the parents?
Well, I think
we should.
Well, if a politician said that, you would just lose all of the teachers union votes that you are trying to get.
Conservatives? I would love to hear a conservative candidate come out and say, let's privatize education 100%. They would get butchered by their own voting bloc.
Well,
but that's what it should be.
You would think.
Well, yes, also correct, but this is the world we live in. It's 2026 here. And Alexander Hamilton himself, who this namesake of this award, would probably be like okay with what Yas is saying. He'd go, Yas.
And I find it that what Mamdani's going to do this proposed thing. Let's keep dreaming.
I would love to hear what his response was.
He addresses, at the end of that clip, Mamdani, because he's like, then we wouldn't need to have, free bus service and rent control this or that, and like all of the political ideas that Mamdani has been, he politicked on. Yeah. Interesting. Oh, New York.
When you see
Love your
Mamdani,
pizza,
do you think
politics.
of, I know they're different nationalities, but when you see Mamdani, don't you think of that Adam Sandler movie that's like, Don't Mess with the Zohan? Because his name is Zoran. I do. They almost look similar.
That's such a
I
bad
don't know. I don't think I've
Adam
seen that. I don't think I've seen that.
Yeah, not
movie.
many people did. It wasn't good.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on to the university, where we, at least the university level, I wouldn't say it's moving on and upward in quality, but it is what it is. We have a professor who decided that, she likes, probably more than likely, loves what Mamdani is doing, because she proudly declared that my students are, I'll say upset, because she uses a different word, at capitalism. What did she have to say?
So I just finished teaching a class called Crisis Earth, which is a non-major science class where we go through and talk about crises on Earth, environmental crises, all of which are human caused. And in this class, I have multiple debates on topics that are debatable, like solutions to climate change, or what we did today was endangered species breeding programs, whether or not it's a good idea. And every debate I have done in this class, filled with juniors and seniors at my institution, non-major science students, this year, for the first time ever, has devolved into anti-capitalist, anti-corporation conversations. And maybe that's not devolving. Maybe that's exactly where the conversation needs to go, even though I'm teaching this as a biology course with kind of an definitely an environmental slant.
Very scientific.
And these students are the ones that are going to change the world. It gives me faith. It gives me confidence that our education isn't broken, that their eyes are wide open, and they're not going to tolerate it any longer.
Yeah.
Their solution to every environmental crisis that we've talked about is dismantle capitalism and dismantle corporations. I think that says something.
Well, it says something.
You know what? I hope Kimberly, that's the name of this teacher, I hope she's sitting down when she watches this. She is a professor at a university. I'm not going to say it. The university is about $87,000 a year.
Woo.
They only have a 67% graduation rate.
Well, there you go.
And then after 6 years, the median income for people that went to this university is $53,000.
Great return on investment.
Yeah. Well, no, that shows you why capitalism is so bad. That's why. Right there, Lindsay.
I was thinking, what's the alternative here that the professor is espousing? Probably socialism and Marxism.
Communist, yeah.
No, because the USSR worked out so well for all of those
Move
Russian
to Russia.
Christians.
Move to Russia.
It just
Mao Zedong in China, that worked out really well.
No.
Jim, stop it.
Cuba and Castro, wow. And probably half the class is wearing Che Guevara shirts too.
Yeah.
That worked out really well.
They should
They
What
just
happened
didn't
in
enact it.
Cambodia that
They
one
should
time?
do spring break in Venezuela. You know, they have riots
There we
over
go.
toilet paper.
There we go.
And power randomly just shuts off. That sounds great. Do you know? Okay, so my husband and his parents owned a business, and people really, they want to like demonize business owners and corporations and stuff. I've seen the flip side of it, of people who their whole life is their business and taking care of their employees, and the business owner is last. And people, I just, have you ever... Okay.
Yeah. So here's the deal, Lindsay, is they've witnessed, anyone who's actually worked a job out in the field has witnessed reality on the ground, not the university professors who are insulated by their classrooms with their bully pulpits, espousing whatever Marxist
teaching crisis Earth, which I can tell is just a bogus class.
Whatever the class may be. And the simple fact that she said, well, these are non-biology majors, as if it's like, wow, that makes it like...
That means they're freshmen and sophomore, right? Because they're doing... that's an elective class.
She said juniors and seniors. But these are the English majors, the basket weaving majors, the sociology majors, the majors who have been already for a couple years on the campus, who have been, we're told time and time again in all the other classes how bad capitalism is.
Right.
By professors who are just there to take their tuition dollars.
Yeah.
She defined woke perfectly there, actually, where she said,
100%.
their eyes are open.
Their eyes are
But in
open.
reality, they're just completely blind to reality.
They are blinded by the light.
Yeah,
No one taking
you know
the
what? I'm
song?
trying to keep
that
it
song.
reeled in.
I got a stat. The Cato Institute in 2025 said 62% of 18 to 29-year-olds said they had a favorable view of socialism.
Say that number one more time.
62% of 18 to 29-year-olds have a favorable view of socialism. That actually scares me quite a bit because if that is the mentality of all of these students and young adults coming up, wait until the AI boom hits the job market and then see how radicalized they are.
All right, I just want to brag on my little high school students, my English students for a second, because we are finishing up 1984. George Orwell's 1984. And we just finished up before that, Screw Tape Letters by C.S. Lewis.
Nice.
And they are, you talk about their eyes are open and they are, whatever that lady was espousing, like students who see what the reality is on the ground. Yet Orwell did not write a fictional novel right there. He wrote a playbook, a warning, a guide. This is what will happen if we follow this. And all the examples you gave, exactly. My younger students, my freshmen and sophomores, just finished reading up Communist Manifesto, most of the sections of it. And they are like, how is this even possible?
Yeah.
How are these ideas out there and people like exploring them? I'm like, if you go around the university campus, just like that professor right there, this is what you will see.
Yep.
Day
Socialism,
in and day out.
Marxism, controlling
All of it.
everything.
Yeah.
Wasn't it Reagan who said like the nine most terrifying words in the English language is I'm from the government and I'm here to help.
I'm here to help. Yeah.
Right.
Yup. Yup. It should scare y'all. But since I mentioned fiction, let's talk about some fiction, like Disney fiction. Or is
Disney
it?
fiction?
Because the reality is, when you have a DoorDash driver come to your home, maybe you're like, I'm going to bring that fiction to life with a
Is
performance
this a good thing or a bad thing?
of Beauty and the Beast.
I just want to learn the food.
She's like, where should I set this bag?
Every morning just the same. Since the morning that he came to this poor provincial town.
Good morning, Ben.
Good morning, monsieur.
Where are you off to?
The bookshop. I just finished the most wonderful story about a beanstalk and an ogre.
That's nice.
I would think that I like hit my head and I was hallucinating. Like,
With a dreamy far-off look.
And her nose stuck in a book.
What a puzzle to the rest of us.
there's so much chaos, and also the piano player looks like Paul McCartney.
I was trying to pinpoint it. I'm like, that guy looks familiar. Really?
Grandma.
I don't know.
Well,
that looks
grandma,
like a guy. That is Paul
grandma
McCartney.
looks like Paul McCartney.
Hi, this is DoorDash Productions. We want to have a great night. This is a $200 tip.
How do you put a price tag on being scarred for life? Because
This is true. Like if I was her, right? If I was door dashing or having to it's my side hustle as a DoorDash driver,
Yeah.
I'd be like, I'm missing opportunity right here. Like,
Yeah.
can you wrap this up? I got like deliveries to
Yeah.
make. until the end, I guess that $200.
But I mean, if
That's
you
a lot.
walked into
That's a big tip for
if you
DoorDash.
walked into a stranger's home and you see all kinds of people in costume,
You're like, I'm getting stolen.
yeah. I mean, like
Man.
they were great singers. And
That's Paul
performers.
McCartney. Yes,
That's
you were
Paul
right, Lindsay.
McCartney.
Look
That
at him.
looks like
that is
Sir Paul-
Cogsworth.
No,
Leave Cogsworth out of
no,
this.
it's Paul McCartney.
They slapped a clock face on him, and that's Paul McCartney right there. It's got to be.
Paul.
How dare
I
they
would probably
back
be
to
freaked
us.
out too,
Cogsworth.
Lindsay, if I door dashed and rolled up like that. But $200 tip, that's kind of nice. I don't know if I would have went with that song choice, though.
No. They spent more than $200 on all the decorations and the costumes.
That's why they couldn't give a bigger tip.
That's why they had to just limit it to that. DoorDash production.
Yeah, or I'd be like, oh, mine erupting? And I would just like back out.
I'd be like, not worth it. I'll just drink that Starbucks bag. I don't
Good job, guys.
Yeah, you just walk out with the food in hand.
I don't.
You're like, no, I'm out. I'm
out.
good.
Yeah.
I don't need that tip. I'll take a
Yeah.
0-star rating.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would.
I feel like Principal Harper would like that. He'd just jump right in.
He would love it. He probably would sing along the whole time. Da, 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 da. Oh, look, it's Cogsworth.
If he wants to be a DoorDash driver and have that be his dream job,
He could start a
maybe.
side hustle. You know?
he'd hustle all the way to every house that sang Beauty and the Beast or whatever the
Yeah.
Disney.
If you
Song.
could have them sing any Disney song to you, what would you want them to sing?
Something from Encanto.
Something from Encanto. You're going new school. I'm going old school.
Or I would.
Mary Poppins. And
Well,
the I Love to Laugh song with the uncle who's just floating in the air, because I would hope they like suspend someone from the ceiling as I walk in. Like, whoa! I love to laugh too.
I love laughter.
And then hopefully, I don't know, I just get caught up in the whole moment. I just get caught up in the air.
You know what? I have a flashback of your bungee class. I just had a flashback of you flying through the air.
Okay, if they
For
played Celine Dion and I walked in, I would.
We all
I
would.
bet.
We
I bet you
all
would.
would.
I think a lot of the men around here would.
Thanks for
Yeah.
reminding me of that.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, no.
Well, on that note, Freedom Project Academy is once again enrolling students for the fall, and we are celebrating by spotlighting the incredible teachers who are making it all happen around here. And this week, we're going to highlight Mrs. Lisa 𝐿𝐵𝐿 who is our music theory teacher.
My name is Lisa 𝐿𝐵𝐿, and I teach music theory and appreciation here at Freedom Project Academy. My husband and I live in Gardner, Kansas, and we have 2 cats, Simba and Jack. I would love to take my students to the opera because we would enjoy thrilling, humongous operatic voices, and we could enjoy the costumes and the sets and all the grandioseness of what opera is, and we could also enjoy the beautiful orchestra playing behind them. It's just a very thrilling experience, and I think many people haven't done it, but it's definitely worth it, and we should give it a shot and see what it's all about. I have a couple. There is a Donizetti opera called Lucia di Lammermoor.
No idea.
It's very dramatic, has a lot of like fast, quick, high notes. There's of course death, because opera is very tragic and all of that. So that's probably one of my favorite ones. I hope that they remember as they move forward, like where the music that they enjoy comes from, kind of how we got to where we are today in our world of music, and just remembering and hopefully appreciating like all the composers and poets and musicians that make up the history of music, and of course all the interesting ways that music theory can help us write songs.
Wow, she was so fun to talk to. Her wealth of knowledge when it comes to music is just amazing. And she's also a professional singer and teaches voice at the college level. So we're lucky to have someone like her.
Wow. Just another amazing FPA teacher. I have a feeling she would jump right in with that production of Beauty and the Beast and let out a couple great notes.
She would kill it. Like she would do it right. She would, you know what I mean?
awesome.
Yeah.
All right, well, that is going to wrap up this program. If you enjoy the show, please subscribe to our YouTube channel or follow the podcast on Apple and Spotify. You can find all the links at classdismissed.tv. We will be back again next Tuesday with another great conversation. Now, for Jim, Lindsay, and myself, have a great week. Check out FPA, and until next time, class dismissed.